I'm Donna-Marie, co-owner of Relish Cooking Studio, and today I'm going to show you how to make a tropical fruit crumble. This is a wonderful dessert baked in a cast iron pan, which a lot of people don't often think of baking in a cast iron pan, but it's a wonderful pan because you get even heat all the way through, and it really retains the heat as well too. It conducts the heat beautifully in a cast iron pan. So we're going to bake this wonderful crumble in the pan. To start with, I have some fresh cut mango and some fresh cut pineapple, and I've also added some pears. Now, if you want to make this and you don't have fresh mangoes available to you or fresh pineapples, you can also use frozen, a wonderful option also. And I've added some pears just for some added sweetness to this. I've already added a couple of pears in here, and I just want to show you I've peeled my pears, and I'm just going to use a melon baller to help cut out that center core out of the pear, just like that, and then I can easily cut it into cubes. Don't worry if your pear is a little bit hard, because as it bakes in the fruit crisp, it gets beautiful and soft and juicy, so that's all right as well too. Now, to the rest of my fruit, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar. I have about 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar that I'm going to sprinkle over the top. You can make this as sweet or as not so sweet as you wish. So if 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar is too much for you, that's okay. Use a little bit less as well. I'm also going to add a couple tablespoons of rum, a nice amber rum that I'll pour over the top. If rum is not your thing, you can add any other liqueur or double the amount of orange juice. And in this case, I'm going to add a couple tablespoons worth, which is about 1/2 an orange, that I'm going to squeeze onto the top of my fruit here. Okay, there's our juice on our mango. I've got a little something extra, some candied ginger. Fresh ginger also works. If you want to add a nice little kick to your tropical fruit crisp or crumble, go ahead and add a little bit of ginger. All right, now it's time to do the topping. So you can do this in a food processor like I'm going to do it. If you don't have a food processor, you can also just do it by hand. It's just going to be a little more crumbly. So I've got a couple of cups, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have about 1/3 of a cup or up to half a cup of brown sugar again. It's going to make it a nice topping. Some coconut, of course, because it wouldn't be a tropical fruit crisp if we didn't have coconut. So I have about 1/2 a cup of coconut. And then I have 1/2 cup of butter, chunks of butter, cold. You want your butter cold because we're going to break it up in the food processor, but this is where if you're doing it by hand, you're just going to blend it all through with your fingers. And finally, a teaspoon of cinnamon. And if you want, you could even just put a little pinch of salt in there. Okay, so basically I'm going to put my lid on. I'm going to pulse it for just a few seconds until my mixture is completely blended through. Okay, our mixture is completely blended. So all I have to do now is just sprinkle it over the top of the fruit crumble. And I'll pour it on over the top and then spread it around my crisp, all that wonderful fruit. Getting it right to the edges like this. All right, nice big mount. Now I have a small little pan here that I'm doing it in, but if you have a nice big roasting pan, that will also work. So it goes into the oven at 350 degrees and it bakes for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then it comes out, or take it out when you notice it bubbling on the top. Let me show you how that looks when it's done. Well, our tropical fruit crumble is done. It smells delicious. Let's take a look at how beautiful and saucy it is. So I'm just going to cut into it with that wonderful crumble topping, and it should be crumbly. And you've got all that delicious saucy fruit on the inside. I'm going to take a taste. that's delicious. A little dollop of whipped cream or ice cream on the top, coconut ice cream, and you have yourself a delicious tropical fruit crumble. So that's how you make a fruit crumble.